Hi student, today we are going to study about electromagnetic induction. Last time we have to study about the electric motor, their function, working, construction and about Fleming's left hand rule. Today we are going to study about electromagnetic induction. So induction means produce electricity under the effect of magnetic field. Simply this is called electromagnetic induction. So what is exactly this electromagnetic induction? Electric current can be produced in a conductor with the help of moving magnet. Moving magnet means under the effect of magnet. This is called electromagnetic induction, and this effect is shown by Michael Faraday, a scientist Michael Faraday in year 1831. So this is about electromagnetic induction. Means electricity or a current is produced under the effect of magnet is called electromagnetic induction, and the inventor of this electromagnetic induction is Michael Faraday. Next one is galvanometer. Galvanometer is a device as similar to the ammeter. Ammeter and voltmeter you have to study in 9th standard. There is a circuit diagram and some components are there in 9th standard, that is ammeter, voltmeter. So galvanometer is also similar to ammeter. So what is it exactly? It is a very sensitive device, work on same principle of electric motor. So when small current means a very small, that is about 1 milliampere current is a flow coil, then coil will be rotated, and the deflection of coil depends upon the direction of a current. In galvanometer there is a pointer, and this pointer is deflect under the effect of current. So deflection of coil depends upon the direction of a current. So this is a device, galvanometer, which is similar to work as an ammeter, but this galvanometer is used to detect the very small amount of current in a device. So this is a galvanometer. Then next one is Faraday's law of induction. So founder of induction is a Faraday. So he make the law for this induction. So what is it? Faraday's law of induction. Whenever number of magnetic lines of force passing through the coil changes, current induced in the coil. Repeat again. Whenever number of magnetic lines of force. Magnetic lines of force means magnetic field passing through a coil changes. If this magnetic lines of force changes, then current induced in the coil. So induce means produce, current produced in the coil. Let's see in the diagram. See, this is your coil, then this is your another coil, that is a solenoid coil. Solenoid coil means a spring like coil. This is a spring, see a spring like coil, and this is the length of your wire. L is the length of your wire, means how much lengthy wire you have to take here, and this is the key, and you have to complete the circuit here with battery, and with the coil there is a one device, that is a galvanometer is attached here. So whenever you press the key, the current is flowing through this solenoid coil like this, because of battery is connected here, and these arrows are showed here. These arrows shows the magnetic lines of force. So according to the Faraday's law of induction, whenever number of magnetic lines of force, see this one, these are the magnetic lines of force. So these arrows shows the magnetic lines of force passing through the coil changes, current induced in the coil. In this coil the current is induced, but how you have to decide it, or how you have to identify that ki current is produced here. So to detect the current, we have to join here galvanometer. With the help of deflection in the galvanometer, we conclude that the current is flowing through the coil. So this is Faraday's law of induction. And the next one is induced current. Here the one word is used here, induced current. So what is the induced current? Induced means produce current. Current produced in the coil. So I repeat again, Faraday's law of induction. Whenever number of magnetic lines of force, look at in the diagram, these are a magnetic lines of force passing through the coil changes current induced in the coil. So this is Faraday's law of induction. Next one is Fleming's right hand rule. Last time we have to see left hand rule. Fleming's left hand rule. Now we are going to see Fleming's right hand rule. So see here, these are your three fingers, that is thumb, index finger and middle finger. All these three fingers you have to stretch perpendicular to each other. Then index finger shows the direction of magnetic field, middle finger shows the direction of induced current, then the thumb shows the direction of motion of a conductor. Or in another way also you have to say that whenever thumb shows the motion of a conductor, motion means force. Motion means nothing but a force of a conductor. Index finger shows the direction of magnetic field, then the middle finger shows the direction of induced current. This current is not only the current, this is the induced current. So you have to write here this particular word, that is induced current. So what is the Fleming's right hand rule? If a force applied on a conductor in presence of a magnetic field, current induced in a conductor. So this is the conclusion of this Fleming's right hand rule. I repeat again, if force applied on a conductor, see here, motion of a conductor. Motion means what? Force. If a force applied on a conductor in presence of a magnetic field, then a current is induced in a conductor. So this is the conclusion of this Fleming's right hand rule. Next one is, there are two types of current, that is AC and DC current, that is alternating and direct current. We have to show with the diagram. See here, this is a DC current diagram and this is a AC current diagram. So in that diagram you have to show here that cell is connected here and current is passing through in one way only. See here, arrow is shown here. Current is passing through like this in one way, in one direction only. The R is resistors. Resistors are connected here. Then next one is AC, that is alternating current. According to the diagram, we show here current is passing through both the sides. See arrows. On both sides arrows are shows, that means the current is alternating. Alternating means zigzag. And there is a one Z sign is there, that Z means zigzag. The direction of AC current is zigzag. So next one is, what is the definition of AC and DC current? So AC means alternating current and DC is your direct current. So what is it? AC and DC current. AC current is oscillatory. Oscillatory means changing, current changing in a magnitude and direction after interval of time. This is your AC current. Then frequency of AC current is 50 Hertz and the symbol is like this, that is zigzag. It is a zigzag current. Then DC current. DC current is non-oscillatory. Current flowing in one direction from cell to cell. Frequency is 0 and symbol is only the single line. That is, it flow from in one direction only. It is flow in one direction only. So these are the point of a difference between AC and DC current. See once again, AC current. AC current is oscillatory. Oscillatory means it is not stable, it is moving. Second one is current changing in magnitude and direction after an equal interval of time. Frequency of AC current is 50 Hertz and the symbol is like this, that is zigzag. Then DC current, non-oscillatory, current flowing in one direction from cell to cell. Frequency is 0 and the symbol is only a single line. So these are the points of difference between AC and DC current. Then next one is electric generator, a device, electric generator. Device which convert mechanical energy into electrical energy is called generator. Last time we have to see electric motor. The definition is device which convert electrical energy into mechanical energy is called motor. But here generator is a device which convert mechanical energy into electrical energy. It's called generator. Principle: mechanical energy is used to rotate current carrying coil in a magnetic field around the axle, thereby producing electricity. So what is the principle of generator? Principle of generator is depends on the Faraday's law of induction, electromagnetic induction. So here mechanical energy is used to rotate the current carrying coil in a magnetic field around the axle, thereby producing electricity. Axle means a rod. Then construction of AC generator. There are two types of generator, AC and DC. First we have to see your AC generator. So this is the diagram of AC generator. First we have to see a construction of AC generator, that is armature coil. Last time in electric motor also we have to see all these components, same as here also. Armature coil, see ABCD is a rectangular loop, armature coil, then strong magnet, NNS horseshoe magnet is a strong magnet, then brushes B1 and B2 are brushes joined here, axle, this is the axle, that is a rod. Then the another and the separate thing is slip rings are used here. Slip rings means, look at in the diagram, R1 and R2. R1 and R2 are the slip rings. Slip rings means two ends of a coil are connected to conducting rings R1 and R2 via carbon brushes. Both rings fixed to axle. See here, B1 and B2 are the carbon brushes and R1 and R2 are the slip rings. So these are two ends of this rectangular loop are connected with this carbon brushes B1, B2 to slip rings R1, R2. Next, galvanometer. See here, galvanometer is attached to complete this circuit. Carbon brushes B1, B2 connected to the galvanometer, which shows the direction of current in a circuit. See, this B1 and B2 carbon brushes are connected to this galvanometer. By this galvanometer, we can show the direction of current in a circuit. Then in AC generator, this is the diagram of AC generator, that is alternating current generator. AC generator is alternating current is used. AC current is normally used for home supply, that is it is used for domestic uses and domestic appliances. This AC generator is used. Thank you.